right. Welcome to Tig's Bits. We have a fun show planned tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit about last night's fantastic Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers, discuss Mardi Gras and some of the traditions of that down here in the South, and we're going to talk about the passing of a musical legend with Toby Keith passing away last week. Blacey, it is good. It's good to see that you are in here, man. We've got a lot of stuff that we've got to get to. We're waiting on the handler. Handler's coming in well. Hopefully he'll be able to join us. I know he's been having a few technical issues, but dude, it is good to see you.
Yeah, man, it's good to be seen. It's good to see you too, brother. I mean, we are right back here again live at Props Brewery, man, and the day after the Super Bowl. So this is regulars night, and it takes the true regulars tonight to be able to show up after the events of yesterday, man. We had an awesome, first of all, dude, they started the morning with a brunch here from 9 to like 2, and then they go tear down this brunch, go right into the chili contest, which I was in, which was awesome.
Yep.
And then rolled it right into the Super Bowl. So it was a really long day here yesterday for everybody that works here, everybody that comes here. It was a big day to say the least.
So the chili cook-off, folks. Last week, get a little text. Tiggy here was a little under the weather, and I get a text that number one, chili cook-off. We're in a chili cook-off, boys. Super Bowl Sunday. Yep. Here we go. It's like, hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. It's awesome. And I love everything that happens at Props. And Chad tells me all these things all the time. We're texting. He lives very close to Props.
I was going to say I live here.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't live at Props, but he might as well live at Props. And
they just said they would set me up a little, a cot back here and everything if I needed it in this little back room. So you never know, man. You never know.
Exactly. But so he tells me that, hey, we're gonna enter this chili contest. I'm like, all right, hell yeah. So we kind of, we're spitballing throughout the week, and then it goes down. So tell us, let's start there. First of all, what I want to hear what was on that brunch menu. And
well, then, I didn't eat brunch, in all fairness. I don't know exactly what they have, but typically, they've got like an omelet station over there. They do French toast. They got full spread, breakfast food. They've got some lunch stuff as well. So I think they kind of rotate some of the items in there. I got here at the tail end of brunch yesterday, but they were already rocking and rolling. So we had to kind of let them break that down before we jumped in to bringing in our chili that we all brought in like crock pots and stuff, and start setting up at the same tables where they're doing the brunch from. So, yeah, man, it was a heck of an ordeal yesterday. It was super cool though.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So as we're talking about this a little bit, and let me bring JR into the conversation. Hopefully,
JR the handler.
There he is.
What's up,
handler.
Guys?
What's
there
up,
he
brother?
is.
Gang, baby. What's going on,
sir.
fellas?
Yes, sir. What's happening?
All right, I can hear and see y'all now. Sorry about that.
You look a lot crisp and clear now.
Yep,
there we go.
Absolutely perfect.
Did you call Elon up and get him to reshift that thing around a little bit?
Yeah, right. I called Space Force and said, "Hey, move your rockets around. You're messing up my signal to Tig's Bits. Damn it."
Exactly, man. Exactly. So we're just recapping, kind of going in. Blacey's once again at Props and kind of talking about the brunch had over the weekend and the chili cook-off that was had yesterday. So look, as we kind of like to do these days, we like to document things. So I said, Blacey, walk us through this. I didn't get everything that you sent, Chad, but I do have a little bit of here we go. We're at this chili cook-off, and this is what's happening. A little midway through report, there was allegedly buzz around Props that the chili was amazing. And then the results. So let's just see what it is. We'll talk about it.
We're here at the very first Props chili contest. I'm going to lie to you. The competition's pretty stout. I mean, look, we got a really good chili, dude, but not going to lie, the two chilies right next to me are great. I've had a couple more. That's good quality chili up in this thing. But we're having a good time. Still looking for the win. I'm feeling good about it still, so we're going to see. Check back in later.
My little update here from the chili cook-off. All right, so there's really good buzz going around about our chili. So the heat, I hate to say this, but I think we might be in the top 3. It's a really good buzz that's going around. Walking around, get some good feedback. We're going to find out. I mean, there's some really good chili here. I'm not going to lie. We got like 16 contestants, and it's some strong chili, brother.
Today's winner is, drum roll please, chili number 4. Second place is chili number 6. And first place is chili number 2.
That's good stuff.
Oh,
There's my hardware. There's my hardware.
The hardware brought it
I've
home.
been carrying it around just like they did the Super Bowl trophy or the Stanley Cup. You know what I mean? It's rolled everywhere with me today. So very proud.
It's
of
the
this
first
guy.
official trophy brought into the Tiggs Bits show.
It's the first time I've ever entered any kind of a cooking competition like that. So I was pretty pumped up about this, man, as I told you.
I will say,
Yeah.
folks, he was beyond pumped up. He promised a victory, but I mean, we're not going.
I
So I'm
know.
a little confused about the place. I put that little video together, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, green shirt guy that went first, did he win? No. Did the guy with the red shirt? Who the hell won? I don't understand. Did we finish third, really? But that's a second place trophy. Well, I'm confused, man.
As far as I know, I finished second. No,
Okay.
the first guy in the green that they announced,
We.
she said the first winner. The first winner. She was trying to say like you're all winners,
Yeah.
and then
So
she
it's
went
3,
to second.
2, 1.
Yeah.
Yes, it was 3-2-1. Yeah, in that order.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Great,
Yeah.
buddy.
It
Good
was
job,
dude.
Blasey.
Yeah,
Way to
dude,
bring
good
it home
job,
to the
dude.
TB,
It was
man.
a blast,
I love
man.
it.
I actually had a really good dude. I was kind of nervous. There's 2 guys to my left who didn't place in this. Dude, their chili was amazing, and they do this stuff a lot in these chili competitions. They're not even from here. I was expecting just neighborhood people, and I was like, "Who are these
Yeah.
cats?" I was like, "We done brought
wow.
in some ringers, you know."
Did you feel anything? Because I know we used to do band like a few times. I've ever been involved in like a battle of the band thing. You get
Look at this guy.
you might have to battle a little
That's our
home
dog
cooking.
Murphy. That's our dog Murphy. He
Oh,
is
is
the,
it
He's
Murph?
the mayor
Hey,
of
buddy.
Freeport. That's
Oh, yeah.
Murphy the
Murph.
dog. That's a cool dog.
Hey guys,
Hey, Murphy.
Awesome.
what could it? As far as the voting panel, do you think there was any pressure like home cooking type thing? Like I know we used to worry about that, and we go do battle of the bands. We're always like, man, whoever's in this area and they know all the bartenders, they're going to be the one win it.
That's probably why I got second.
I mean, I'm just saying it, but I always hey, but you're
shit.
you're
No,
just
I'm
getting
kidding.
started.
No,
And
actually, yeah.
when
Yeah.
when you know for a fact that yours is top dog, you won't even think that. I used to tell the band guys that. I'm like, if we go in here, no matter if there is home cooking and they beat us, there's no way that shouldn't happen. It should be undeniable. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
first official competition to come in second place. I mean, not a lot of room to go from there. It's not, but definitely you'll be able to dial it in and know. But be going to these competitions where how yours is going to stand up to these other guys and gals.
Yeah, man. No, it was cool, dude. It was a good learning because I found myself kind of doing things a little different than I normally do if I'm just cooking chili at the house. Like I was probably overanalyzing it a little bit, but it turned out great. The chili turned out phenomenal. I started cooking this 2 days in advance. I was smoking my ground beef, smoking my sausage, had my link sausage, ground sausage. I mean, dude, I'm smoking it first. You know what I mean? I'm staging this thing. I'm really being precise about how I'm doing my dumps with my seasoning, doing a dump one, not crushing my meat up until literally 2 days later. And then I finally start taking a mashed potato
Wow.
masher. I didn't want it to get too mushy,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a 48-hour chili.
Incredible.
Did you watch a lot of videos on competition chilies and things like
I
that
looked at
that
some
made
stuff.
you adjust?
Okay, the one thing I did is I smoked the meat that I've used. But I've smoked meat before. I've smoked Boston butt. I've put that in there before. I've smoked some beef before and done that. But I've just never. I'd never done the ground meat and smoked the ground sausage. That was the only thing that I did that I saw on a video. I was like, yeah, let me just go ahead and do that as well, you know. So I think it turned out really good. I'll be doing that in the future.
Good.
I'm sure people
Yeah.
have cheated and used liquid smoke or something to change that effect somewhere down the line. You know,
I'm sure they have. I saw some recipes that, you know, call for liquid smoke.
Yeah, just and you can
that
smoke
stuff
it.
gives
You
me
know,
heartburn. You can taste it. You taste it for
Yeah.
like hours later, you know.
right? Yeah, no doubt. Well,
Hilton
I know
and
you
Hilton
had that
says congrats, Blasey, and Paul
Appreciate it.
says
Appreciate it,
congrats.
guys.
And appreciate
It was
both of
fun.
you guys.
These
This
guys,
was Saturday,
first class.
right?
No, this was Sunday. This was
It's yesterday.
from
Yeah.
3 to 5 just
I mean,
before the
Sunday,
Super
yes.
Bowl, and then we rolled
Well,
this
you know,
right
the-
into the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Right. Sharice worked
What a
before
great,
Bama had
what
their
a great
chili
Super
cook-off.
Bowl meal.
I know, right?
Phenomenal.
Sharice worked the Florida Bama chili cook-off. It was Saturday. So maybe that's what we need to do. You need to come. If they schedule it the same next year, you need to, you know, just get your
Oh,
little
yeah.
traveling team that weekend, you know.
Maybe-
Because
maybe
that'd be
a
close
plan.
enough for you to do both. I mean, what, an hour and a half maybe?
Yeah, it's not
between
bad.
the 2
Yeah,
hours.
I could do that. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think it's a
fun,
great
man.
idea.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I was in Dodge City, Kansas Saturday, and it was 30 degrees, snowing and sleeting. And Sharice is sending me pictures from the chili cook-off at the Florida Bama where it's 70 degrees and they've got chili, and I'm up there eating crappy catering. So anyway, good to be home. But
Oh, yeah.
but no,
Yeah.
So,
that-
I bet
but I
so.
was keeping up with the videos as you were sending because you know I don't think you posted these for everyone, but you sent Tiggs and I videos along the way of you smoking said meat, burger
Yeah,
meat,
man.
and different things and the combos you were using, and man, I was, it has me begging for some chili, and I missed the chili cook-off, so I don't know. Next time we hook up, I'm gonna have to get you to make me a batch of that.
Heck yeah.
Lacey, out of the 16 contestants, did any of them use beans? In the
Yeah,
chili?
several of them use beans,
Okay.
and I debated till the very end, and I was like, "Why am I thinking about this? I always put beans in my chili." So I didn't put a ton of beans. I didn't like I go bean crazy, but I put the beans
Yeah.
in there at the very end. Like one of the last things I did, probably as I'm heating it back up over the last hour and a half. You know what I mean? Let those beans kind
Right.
of just roll on in there. So yes,
Did
I did, and several
anyone
people
use
did.
anything? Did anyone use anything else like a wild game or anything that you wouldn't normally think of chili, chicken chili, anything weird?
I didn't see any chicken chili. Somebody said they were making a white chili, but I didn't get to taste everybody's chili. The guys next to me, they used, you know, like some beef tips and stuff like that they smoked. They used, I think one guy down there did a brisket. I think there was one brisket in there. Now one guy who's in here, his name's Pat. He had this chili. It was more like a Mexican chili. Dude, it was so good, though. You know what I mean? It was, and he had this Mexican cornbread he made with it, little pieces. He'd throw a little piece of that in there. I was like, man, that's kind of an unfair advantage he's got.
Well, you know, like in Colorado, they have the green chili is their thing because they have the green type of peppers they use to make the green chilies
Yeah,
out in
yeah.
certain
Right,
western
right.
states. So I just didn't know if maybe because I was thinking I got a bunch of that elk meat. Boy, you want to take it up a notch. You blend some of
That's
that
what
elk with.
I'd love to have some wild game. I was going to do some wild hog.
got
thought
you.
I had more, and I was out. So next time I have to get with you. I'd love
Yeah,
to make
I
that
got you.
be yes.
And this is
Just
as good as
cut
it
that
gets.
elk with a Boston butt or something
wow.
like that, because I'm sure
Yeah.
the elk's fairly, you know, it's pretty lean.
Super lean, and what I have here is cut a piece with maybe a little pork fat, just because it's so
Yep.
lean. But I did this, which I've never done before. A couple weeks ago, I just took it and made hamburger patties out of frozen elk meat, thawed it out, made hamburger steak patties. Phenomenal. So yeah, I got you on that. That would be because I'm into all that kind of stuff. I love traditional, and I like beans. I like no beans.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering if what the extent of the
Man,
'cause,
it
you know,
was
some of these
busy. There was a
things,
lot of people,
it's
dude. They were
crazy.
coming by the table. I didn't really get a chance. Like early on, I walked over to Pat's, and I didn't get to even taste everybody's chili. I didn't get to eat a bowl of my own chili. It was gone, man. It got devoured in that 2 hours. You know, I was hoping I
Yeah.
might have enough for a bowl. Other than tasting it, I really didn't get to eat it either. But
Wow.
it was really busy up here. There was a lot of people I'd never seen before, so it brought in a lot of folks.
Hey,
you know what I mean? So
TB got Tiggs Betts got on the podium on the first time.
Yes, we
the
did.
first dance, baby. I love it.
yes, we
I
did.
love it, dude. I love it. It's big. It's breaking news. It's big
It
news
is.
for the show. It's huge news.
It is.
But yeah,
This is
man,
an award-winning
great job.
podcast. We didn't say
Absolutely
what kind of
it is.
awards. We've won awards.
Absolutely.
There you
An
go.
award-winning podcast right here, folks.
But now we got to go for gold. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
hell yeah,
Man, that
that's
other
great.
trophy was
But
so
we can't
big.
get complacent. All hands on deck. Monster Chili's coming at you in 2025 and maybe later in 2024. We have consultants in the game with J.D. Marsh and others that we will bring in to this. It's over for y'all. I hope everybody enjoyed winning this one. That's all I got.
Hey, I want to add this before we jump into
ahead.
the full show. Like, I don't know if y'all noticed behind me, but right now at Props, they're piping in the show through YouTube. And so the show inside there is being played. The audio is being played. They got it on multiple TVs in there as well. So
It's
we
fantastic.
got all these wonderful locals here tonight enjoying it.
Hello,
so, yeah. So I
everybody.
appreciate
Hello,
Props
and thanks
allowing
for
us to come in
watching.
here and being a sponsor of the show tonight. We certainly
That's right,
do
for
appreciate
sure.
you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Props. Man, it's a great spot, and that's so cool of them to go out of their way to make sure you got what you need to be over there. And I can't wait to get there, and I hope some of our listeners and friends in the area will come visit us when we get over there. And hopefully we can, Tiggs and I can be available to come to either one of these
Yes.
events or just come visit you and do a live taping from all three of us there in the
Heck
future.
yeah. We can
I know
do
we
that,
were,
man. Yep.
I know we were talking about I'd asked what the different crazy things they were doing with the chili, because in cooking competitions the bigger usually gets the crazier, because even I know last year when they had because it's Mardi Gras season, which we'll talk about later, the National King Cake competition, and one of the king cakes that won was a Boudin king cake, and I'm like, well, that's not, is that really a king cake? And it's kind of like we talk about crawfish, when you start throwing fruit and different certain things in there, are we going for the crawfish or all the other crazy stuff, which we can talk about that later too. We had talked about having an actual Tiggs Bit sponsored Floribama crawfish boil, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do it this year, because I don't think there were about 10 crawfish alive
Crazy,
in
dude.
Louisiana right now. So
Exactly, man. Yeah, it's about $40 a sack.
wow,
I mean, $40 a pound.
a pound, right? Yeah,
A pound.
Yeah, a pound.
40 a
yeah.
pound? I thought it was
A
15 a
pound.
pound. It's gone up more now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
It's
but
gone
but there has been a little crawfish update. Probably should be a weekly part of our show. Crawfish update hearing with some of the rain that we've gotten here and more rain coming. That's good news. May just be a late season, probably going to be after Easter.
Hit a May, June
But
type deal,
hopefully
maybe.
there
Yeah.
will be a season. Hell,
I
if
hope
we can
so.
get down to $3 a pound.
Oh, man.
That'd be great.
amazing. I'd take $5 right now and just roll with
Yeah.
it,
Oh
Maybe
man, there's
complain.
been so many Super Bowl parties, and we'll kind of transition into the Super Bowl for a little bit. Just kind of
Yeah.
recap it. No big breaking news there. Everybody saw it. We'll kind of give our thoughts. But man, there's been a lot of Super Bowl parties over the years where I had a crawfish boil. That was the first crawfish boil of the season, even though they were expensive. And back in the day, expensive being like $1.99. Like, oh my God, I can't believe we're gonna pay this for crawfish.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, you folks in Louisiana are will about prices too. If it ain't right, y'all won't get them. I've seen that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Amanda makes a very
Yes.
good point. Shout out to Joe,
Yeah, Joe,
the GM there.
he's
Props
a
for
GM here.
being
He's awesome.
so
He set all this up
awesome.
for me. He even came and met
Yeah.
me here early. He wasn't even supposed to be here. He actually wasn't even working today. He just came up here and met me, made sure I had everything set up for me and everything, and then I think he took off. But,
And look, if we go long tonight and that man's still there sweeping and mopping the floors and the place is shut down like we did this last time,
No,
then
we're-
we
yeah,
all
we're good.
deserve a beating. We're
we
not going to
started
do that
early.
to the
We
man.
started late that night. We started
that's
like
right.
at
That's right. We started a
7:30. It was
little
a 2-hour
earlier
show. It was
today.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just got. We didn't know how long that show would go, so we try
had
to
no
keep it
idea.
around an hour.
And I'm actually going to Big Beach Brewery when we get off here, because our buddies Paul and a friend of ours Steve are watching a band there tonight, and
Oh, nice.
they have a band on Monday night because tomorrow's Mardi Gras, so that's actually where I'm going to go. And I think we have a new manager there, but I want to talk to him because maybe we can do the whole brewery scene, kind
a
of
little circuit.
tour
Yep.
of breweries.
That would be
on our
awesome, dude.
podcast or
There's a
something.
good
Yeah.
one here, not far from Baton Rouge, that I think would be a great place to set up too. They have just a cool little place too. So yeah, I think the brewery tour would be fun. There's so
Yes.
many everywhere now, and
Yep.
and they're all unique. That's
Yep.
what's so cool about them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, let's talk about the Super Bowl a little bit for a second. I know the handlers got plans tonight, so we want to try to pump this out because we have some things to talk about. But quick thoughts on the Super Bowl, man. I have to say, one of the best Super Bowl games ever.
really was.
I mean,
It really was. It was a great
especially
game.
the second half on. It was just as good as it gets.
It really was. And I don't know about you guys, probably like me, really didn't have a dog in the fight. I thought Latu, who was a former Bama tight end, was going to be on the roster by now, but he didn't play. So didn't have any Bama or Troy guys that I'm aware of. I know we had, I think, 6 people from the state of Alabama with ties that were involved with the 2 teams. I don't know how many of them got to actually play and things like that. But probably like everyone else, I was kind of pulling for the Niners because I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift on TV when I'm trying to watch football. And but I also don't hate Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a stud and just a cool guy and has I mean, different, but kind of like Steph Curry, changed the game with the way he plays because he can do it all and always seems Family Guy, all that fun stuff. But so I didn't really have I wouldn't sway. I just want it to be a good game, and by golly, we got that. I was excited for Brock Purdy, the last pick of the draft, to get to be in a Super Bowl, and all those things. I think San Francisco was a little dinged up, it seemed, early on. And I tell you this, too, there wasn't many penalties. There was not many penalties. There weren't any of those big controversial.
Which was surprising. With Bill Vinovich being the referee, which seeing that man's ugly-ass face just to start the whole day brought back memories. Like, come on, dude. We have to do a Super Bowl with this ass clown?
Was that the guy who
what a piece of trash. He's terrible on every level. I will never forgive him. He's ruined part of my sports life. The hell with Bill Vinovich. But
was he the guy who had to call?
Crew called a good, clean game last night.
Was he the one that called the Vikings no call against us?
No, he's the one, the pass interference against the Rams in the NFC
Rams one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Would have been a
gotcha.
shoe-in Super Bowl.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, but
we're not going to talk about that one.
Yeah, but I thought just a game like that with the big threats, and they did go down the field, so I thought there'd be pass interference, those ticky tacks, and then you have to go back and review for 4 or 5 minutes. I thought they did a good job of that.
They let them play.
Dude, the game flowed so well too.
It really did.
I mean, it was like that was to me, it felt like a fast Super Bowl. Like, I mean, but it was
like
good.
the
first half, definitely. The first half was like boom, boom, boom.
Yes, outside of that overtime, I totally get it.
Yeah.
But that was a quick. I mean, it was moving. And
they were running the ball
because of the refs.
Yeah, they were running the ball. The pass plays. There was a couple shots down the field, then the quick turnovers right after, and it was just boom, boom, boom. It was exciting. A really good game. But kind of thought though when they, and I tell you, I've said this before in basketball, missing your free throws is gonna get you, and missing an extra point. If they hit that extra point. This game, we're not even talking about any. There was no overtime. All they had to do is make their extra point. The guy makes 3 50-plus yarders, and then gets the PAT. Yeah, there it is. Exactly,
that's right,
Jason.
That's right. I mean, the PAT definitely was the difference in the game.
Yep.
But my takeaway from the whole deal, I'm right here. My wife and I are watching it out here on this
Tammy in
monitor.
the house.
Tammy was in here. We're watching, and I looked at her. And I went, oh, you see that look? He just turned it on. He just turned it on.
Yep.
It was early in the third quarter. He did it again. Patrick Mahomes is as clutch as Michael Jordan,
really
Tom
is.
Brady, Joe Montana, Wayne Gretzky, all of the greats that you want to put up there, Babe Ruth. Yeah. I mean, you want to put the biggest names that have ever been
Bernard
in sports.
King. I mean, he's hurt. He was hurt.
He's done it over and over again and over.
Over and over and over again. The dude just never freaking stops until he's beaten. A lot of people were asking, who do you think is going to win? And my same answer was, until Patrick Mahomes is beaten, I'm going to go with them 9 out. Times, 10 out of 10 times. I'm going with him every single time, and I will until he's beaten. I mean, the dude just knows. He shows up in big games. Yeah, it's fun to watch.
I thought San Fran had a little shot because of how unorthodox they play. I was listening the other day on a podcast. They were compared to Golden State and Oakland A's as far as a team that's really dialed in with analytics and stats. Because, the average team runs their wideouts. The average spread is 29 yards, but San Francisco's is 19. They run the opposite of everyone else because they're going by analytics, like when Steph Curry and those guys just shot more threes, because if you go by the stats, that theoretically should win. And Oakland, when they went to the World Series with the lowest paid roster there was in 2010, So I thought, and they did. That guy called a great game. It was just Patrick Mahomes' will to win because, I mean, you couldn't have called that game any better.
No.
I mean, it
was
was
a
a
great-
fantastic Super
Dude,
Bowl.
hey, San Fran, the
was.
second quarter, when they ran that screen, it was that double pass play, and they threw that screen pass off that double pass to McCaffrey. Dude, that block over there on that outside was unbelievable. And of course, McCaffrey he's gone end zone.
He did
At
that high
point,
step
I said,
move.
dude, I don't know, man. Like, I know that KC has the ability to get back in this, but I think that's when Kelsey was screaming, trying to go. I think that was about that point in the game where everybody was like, okay, it looks like the
Even
49ers
if they're
gonna run
cool,
away, but
even if they're cool, Kelsey bumping into the coach on the sidelines with the TV on you in the biggest game, unprofessional. I know they're cool. That's
I
you can do that
I
in
didn't like
practice,
that.
but
Yeah,
you just can't.
yeah.
Everybody's watching. Every kid's watching, so every kid's gonna go holler at their coach when they don't like it from all the way up. So you just can't.
That's
do
a
that.
good point. Look, that is one thing that did not. I don't have a problem with the whole Taylor Swift thing. Don't care. My daughter's a Swiftie. I've always liked Taylor Swift. I admire her. She's a singer songwriter, writes her own music. She doesn't lip sync. She does it.
I don't hate Taylor Swift.
And
I
I know you
want
don't.
to watch
I know you
football
don't.
when I'm watching football.
Correct. The circus around it, even for she's
it's
tired
not her
of
fault,
it.
though.
It's not her fault. It's not her
No.
fault at all. So,
Oh, well, look at
but
that.
I
We
don't
got
have a problem with two kids in love. They just happen to be famous and all of that.
Yeah,
all of that.
But
good
it's like
stuff. But-
it's like they show Jack Nicklaus on the sideline of the Lakers game, and then they show whoever, and they show whoever. Then we get back to the damn game, and
That's
we don't
it.
see him again.
That's right.
That's all
That's
I'm
right.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
You know,
right.
afterwards,
a
I'm even
baby
cool
just
with the
showed up to
afterwards
Tig's
thing,
bit.
you know?
So who's the baby there? Who's the baby?
I don't know. That's just
Baby
some
in
of
a
our
bar.
fans.
Gotta love it.
I love it.
That's
Only
baby
in
in a
Florida.
bar.
It's just the newest
Fantastic.
Tiggy wig, or whatever we're gonna call them. We
It's
still haven't
like-
decided that
It's
yet.
like we're in Louisiana, but we're in props.
I love it.
But yeah, I didn't like the Andy Reid shove. Paul, he didn't like it.
That's just everybody's watching, and the announcers said they're tight like that because Andy Reid apparently they do that kind of stuff. He's cool with it, but still, that's just not what you put
it's
out on the Super Bowl.
disrespectful.
At the Super Bowl,
It's
just don't do
disrespectful
that.
to your coach, and
Yep.
it just it's a bad look. I understand the passion.
It was about
the
as
fire,
bad as
all
his
of that.
post game would be hoorah thing he tried to get going that sucked. He bombed. Everybody else was great, and he tried to do this like bro shit, and it sucked. I thought he was terrible afterwards. He tried to get him wound up. Everybody was kind of cringy. They're like, all right. Everybody else is like, thank you, appreciate y'all. He's like, come on, y'all, let's get fired up, dog. And they're like, they're not having it. Nobody was having it.
Maybe let your girlfriend write your lyrics, buddy. But yeah, man. So the game, of course, it was good. The conspiracies that are out there, that it was scripted and all of that, we're not going to dive into that. But I have it written down. I find it interesting that people, including my dad, whenever I went to visit my dad yesterday, I cooked a brisket. Wasn't it wasn't in a cook-off or anything, just a little subtle brisket being cooked over here at Tiggy's.
Just a little subtle brisket.
Took him a little brisket, and we're sitting there talking, and Dad said, yeah, well, I mean, you've heard about that conspiracy, it's the whole thing is they're going to win. Kansas City's going to win the whole Taylor Swift thing, and then Joe Biden wins because they're all going to vote for him. I'm like, Dad, what have you been watching?
Just stroll through Twitter. Just stroll through Twitter.
That's so good.
I think
all it takes.
I thought it was pretty
Dad's
good
been on
today.
Twitter,
I'll give
man.
Biden and his crew props for doing that. Biden, did you see that tweet that he put out with his red
I did
eyes?
with yeah.
that's
So I
pretty
mean, I
funny,
thought that was hilarious.
Hey,
too,
something
because
that's not
play
BS,
it, man.
and probably the most important thing of the whole Super Bowl. Did anybody win their squares or any of their bets they had on any of these games? Did you?
I won first quarter $250 on a $10 square. Absolutely.
Hell yeah!
Parlayed that second place into that, and then there was a free board going, and I won a $20 gift card on that too. So I got 2 gift cards, $250. Boom!
Look
huge
at
day.
you, nice.
Oh,
So I don't feel so
unbelievable.
bad. You made up
I
for
was
everything I
moonwalking
lost.
around this place. Yeah,
Hey, I bet you were.
with a trophy
have
on my head.
Yeah, you did. So I had a friend last night. I don't know what the cost of the squares were to enter, but he won $29,000
Good
in the
God.
first quarter, and he
Wow.
was a little bit pumped, needless to say. And then another buddy of mine won like $3,200 in another deal that they were in, but it's like $250 squares or something. No, I came away non-victorious
Good Lord.
in the square game this year, but that's okay. That's okay.
Same. I didn't do as many as I normally did. I did 5 $2 squares in one thing, and I did 2 $10 squares in another, but I didn't win crap. And in both of them, obviously whoever won the second won the third, the same number, second, third quarter, different but the same. So
Right.
I thought I was going to win the second because I had 0-0, and then I was like, it's about to happen again, and they kicked that field goal. I think they're just at the end of the second quarter. I was like,
Yep.
And then now one guy in here, Stone, he won the second quarter and the third quarter, I think. So he hit 2 in a row. He got like $500.
Second and third were the same.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
You're right. Yeah,
Because
that's it.
BJ on the one I was on was a Floribama one. BJ won it, and Dan Moore won the one on our road one. I'm like, and I want to get some of his money because he didn't even pay me. I gave Jeff, our production manager, hit $10 for him because he didn't have $10 cash. So I'm gonna get something back out of that somehow. Before
And old JM somehow just slid away with all the cash, huh?
Of course
Yeah,
he
I'm
did. Like a damn bandit.
He does that on the road too. He'll want to do some kind of game. He'll be like, $100, it's all play. I'll put everybody's money in whatever. He always wants. He's so competitive. He knows he's gonna work harder than everybody else and win.
That's right.
I'm like, hell, I don't care. I'm gonna sit over here and drink in the lounge chair.
And just enjoy it.
Hope
Just
it works
enjoy
out.
Well, look, I mean, what about the fun part for people? And this has changed over the years. I think everybody that's out there can agree that the commercials that you used to, part of the whole fun of watching a Super Bowl was to watch the commercials. Not a ton of awesome commercials out there this year. In fact, hardly any. I have a little quick ranking that I saw. It was the State Farm with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. They came that in at number 1. Kia had the Perfect 10 commercial. Don't remember it. Uber Eats, worth remembering. Don't remember it. And the NFL, Born to Play. Don't remember it. But I do remember this one. And look, I mean, we're not sponsored by the good folks at Dunkin' Donuts. But if you missed it, here's a good chance to watch it again. It's too good. Check it out.
I don't think you should do this. Last year she came to my work. Now I gotta show her what I can do.
He's here.
Fleck on the track.
What up, Bronx? For your consideration, here comes the Boston Massacre! The Dumb Kings! Touchdown Tommy on them keys! Player coach.
Got it.
I'm open. And needs no introduction, my partner!
Sometimes it's really hard to be your friend.
You said you were gonna support me?
Don't go away, my heart. Why you dunking me, girl? Why you dunking me?
Dumb Kings!
My heart.
How do you like them donuts? I'm so
You
sorry.
had to see it, but I forgive you. Lay us on the track.
Are we gonna be on the album?
We talked about this.
Let's go. You're blinded by them pinstripes.
Wrap it up.
Here goes Babe Ruth.
Tom, you can stay.
You remember when I told you I'd do anything for you? This is anything.
Chill. They're naming a drink after us.
Dang, that's pretty funny. I didn't see that live.
I did not
That's
see that
great.
either. That is good. That is really good.
Yeah, dude. I think that's the bet. That's the one for me.
That's
awesome.
good.
That's
Hey,
actually
you-
good. That's really good.
The one that I mentioned I don't know if I sent you guys the link. I know we talked about it, Blasey, but the one before that, the NFL Born to Play, I think that was the one that
Yeah.
former Troy alumni,
Yeah,
O.C.
O.C.
Manura,
Manura, yes.
was on. And I mentioned I had classes with O.C. He was in school when I was there. Then he went on to play for the Giants, Pro Bowler, Super Bowl
Yes.
champion, all that fun stuff.
2
And I
Super
thought,
Bowls, yeah.
and I had told my wife, I said, wait a minute, I think that's, but he looks younger now than he did
Dude, he
when we
looks
were in
great.
school.
Dude, he started that. That's his deal.
Oh, did he?
That
That's
was his
awesome.
idea. He envisioned it, came up with it. Now it's come to fruition. He's been helping bring in, kids from all over like Europe but specifically over in Africa and Nigeria, bringing them over to the NFL. Now the NFL's finally gotten involved with it, and they're helping to support his cause. Dude, it's
Hey,
awesome.
that's
He's
awesome. Yeah, that's
blood,
great.
sweat, and tears that OC's put into that, and it's all
What a
paid
great
off.
guy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. So I had to mention that a Troy alum and a great guy that we kind of know and whatever. And I told Blasey, I said it was funny when we had the few classes we did have together. He was in the front of the class, sitting, paying attention, taking notes. When I was slipping in the back, trying to sit in the back, 20 minutes late. But that's why he's running a big charity, and I'm yapping with you knuckleheads on Monday night.
That's right.
So It's all right though, but
Exactly
congrats
right.
to him, and that is very cool. I didn't know that was something he
Yeah.
started. I thought he was just spokesman for that angle, but that's very cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
shout out to OC.
I think part of the deal with the commercials is social media these days, so much bigger. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, those types of things. A lot of those bigger companies really try to get more viral stuff and viral play there than that big money spend of advertisement during the Super Bowl. And case in point would be just like last night, Blazey's at the chili cook-off. They're there at Props watching the Super Bowl, eating some chili and all. You're not sitting there in between the game and you're talking to people
Yes.
and your friends and
yes.
stuff like that. You're not watching
Looking
the
at your
commercials
squares on
or,
your
or
phone.
you're
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think you're a lot more distracted these days than used to be. But it still ain't cheap to run a Super Bowl ad.
Oh,
I mean,
no. $500,000 a second or something crazy.
yeah, I
who
think
knows?
RFK Jr. spent $7 million, or the PAC did. He didn't personally do it. PAC spent like $7 million on that 30-second commercial or something like that,
Wow.
which is just
That's
insane.
crazy. Yeah, that's
there was
wild.
that good commercial with Jesus and talking about love, and they were washing people's feet and things like that, which was a great message, but. A lot of those sites are owned by Russian hacks and things like that, so I don't know what kind of misinformation or what it is. I sure as heck ain't going to the link that
Yeah.
they had at the end of that to go check it out. I mean, I agree with the message, but I don't know what your website is. No, you're not going to get me. So I think that some of that burnout has come out there with all of that. But look, I have to put this in there because you can't talk about the Super Bowl without talking about halftime. And I put this out on our show's Instagram and a couple of other places yesterday whenever I found this picture. But this is my dad meeting Usher.
That's so good, dude.
That's awesome. Big
It's so
Tig.
badass. And so
Was he playing that music when he met him too?
I
Is that
think
what he
it
rolled
was,
into?
Little John's
that's the
in the
way that
background.
I envision it.
Me too.
That's had to be the way Dad
Oh,
heard
that's
that
so
music,
good.
right? No, he's never heard that song before. But
Dad met Usher. That's so good.
so I go over there yesterday, and he's talking about. He said that time, I met that guy who's going to be doing the halftime one time. Introduced him to the Louisiana legislature. Dad, back in the day, was Speaker of the House in the Louisiana legislature, so he got to do a lot of cool stuff like that. But we're
That's
just
really cool.
casually going through. This was like 6 or 8 months ago. They had this picture frame deal, a digital picture frame, and they had put all of these pictures on there, and it would just go. Mom and Dad had no idea what we could do with this or anything. I turned it around. I say, well, it's just got a SD card or something in there. I can just buy something and offload all these pictures, which is what I did. But we all sat around and watched them individually. We had to go through all like 300, and we get to that one, and I went, is that freaking Usher, Dad? I don't know. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Who's that? Who's Usher? And then forward to yesterday, he remembered Usher. He's like, hey, I think I do remember that guy. He's doing the halftime. I met him one time, so I found that picture.
That's great.
And
That's so
shared
cool,
it
man.
everywhere.
That's
It
cool.
really is, man.
That's really cool.
It really is. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing here. That had to be circa like 2005 to 2007 or
Yeah,
8,
yeah.
somewhere in there. Probably shooting a movie, helping.
I was
going to
say probably
Katrina,
movie or
potentially
videos. Yeah.
Yeah, but
or
really,
it might have been the time when they were up for the change, get the tax thing back, that they were
Right.
probably had some people speaking to make sure we got the tax thing right so they could do all that stuff in
Yeah.
Louisiana.
yeah,
Your
that's
dad,
true.
Your dad used to have his own coffee mugs because I had one. It was black and gold writing.
Yeah, he sure did. I
I
have
can't
one.
find
It's
it now.
you can't
Dang
see it.
it.
I know there's only a handful. I need another one. I don't know
Yeah.
where they're at, but yeah.
I
it was,
apologize. I can't find it.
it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay.
I thought it was awesome.
But it was awesome. But yeah, man. So I enjoyed. I've heard a little bit of back and forth, house divided. Not this house. On whether or not they enjoyed Usher or not. I thought it was fantastic. started off a little bit slow, but that was what he was trying to build up. I love the pure R&B. That was interesting. Hadn't really had that at a Super Bowl. And then it goes into a party. You know, it just goes from that. Lil Jon coming out, Luda, freaking Jermaine Dupri. Everybody's showing up and bringing it.
Cat Williams.
Was Cat there? He had to be.
No, hell.
I wouldn't have put it past.
No, I'm messing with
Cat
y'all.
told. I don't think
Diddy,
Cat ain't
Steve
invited
Harvey.
to too many Hollywood parties anymore these days. I don't believe.
Yeah, he's
If y'all
fine.
hadn't seen that Cat Williams interview with
Oh, yeah,
Shannon Sharp,
yeah.
then do yourself a favor and go check that out.
I can't look at Luda them the same no more, man.
I know,
I can't.
dude.
I need some explanation. I need somebody to call Cat Williams a liar. Until someone calls him a liar, I'm kind of listening to what he's saying, you know. But anyway,
Why not?
but no, I thought, you know, that was from an era when we were all, you know, young adults, and the music was fantastic. I love the special guest. Obviously, we all love Alicia Keys.
Yep.
She was looking like $1 million, as he did. That's what I said. Cherie said, hey, he's got the sleeve with no shirts on. I said, hell, if I was jacked like him, I wouldn't wear a shirt either. And he's another one. Hell, Usher looks as young now on the video as he did when he first came out. He's thicker, but, you know, it's just.
That dude can move, man.
Oh, God, what
he's top 3 of all time, in my opinion. You got Michael Jackson. Then you could throw whoever else you can think of right there. And then
James Brown.
him.
James
Yeah.
Brown.
That's what I'm
James
saying.
Brown,
I
then
mean,
Michael Jackson.
James
Brown's first.
James Brown.
You go with James Brown first, okay?
Yeah, Michael Jackson would tell you James Brown's the first.
All right.
I would think.
That,
I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. I mean,
well,
evolution.
he won't anymore.
Yeah, right. Neither
God
nor.
bless him.
But you know, I thought that the show itself was fantastic. Production was great, and let me tell you, it started off slow too, and you couldn't hear his vocal mic at first as good as you could because he was singing live. That was not. He wasn't singing a track like normal, and they just talk over it some. He was breathing out those whole lyrics along with some backup singers, but they were live too. And let me tell you, it's hard enough to do it at a concert, a regular building. It's hard enough to do it recorded and regular. Man, he had everything going against him for that to fail, and his production team, along with whoever pulled all that off, absolutely nailed it for what they had given. And then, tell you what killed me too is those guys out there dancing on roller skates.
Yeah, that was insane.
We'll just take it to a whole other level. Hell, we'll just get on, and no one's done anything like
live.
That was
on
live.
TV. Yeah,
it only took one slip or one thing to break, but you know they have practiced that for months ever since he signed the contract.
Oh yeah, man.
They have rented out a big NFL size stadium like that was not in use, and they've been running that set every day, same time they're going to do it live for probably 3 months now. I would bet. I mean, you know, different pieces then came together for sure, but absolutely fantastic. Show.
Yeah, I actually, so it's funny. Amanda, she just popped in on that. So it started, just like you said, Brantley, it started slow. And I was actually criticizing it. And I like Usher, but, you know, about halfway through, I was like, dude, this is just not good. Like, I'd already given up, you know. I had my money, whatever. I didn't need a halftime show, right? So, but no, dude, all of a sudden, when he started going, I was like, whoa, hold on. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, yes, it was a slow, he pumped that wave.
It was that jam band thing. Build them up, bring them down, build them up.
He was working hard, like you were saying, dude. He was working. He was grinding. He was pouring sweat, dude. I mean, he was.
He was. He looked like me just after a minute of anything in the summer.
Never mind. Good job, Usher.
Impressive. And Mississippi
It was
native Lil
impressive.
Jon came in.
I saw a little clip of when Alicia when Alicia Keys came in, she missed her vocal. You know, she missed it. It's okay. She's missed it before. She'll miss it again. But the thing that I said right then was like, damn, they're live. They're doing this live. That is incredible.
It's crazy.
I could tell when he first started off his thing and was trying to sing and was first getting out and everything. I was like, oh, shit, he's going live. I wonder if it's all the way live. And then I saw him do something. I was like, it is 100% live. I love it.
I do, too. I love that. I just think that
that is amazing.
More artists need to do that. Biggest stage. Reba. We hadn't talked about Reba doing the national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Paul
that.
says Reba did a great national anthem. It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Reba.
That's awesome.
Jason Milton loves Mr. Joe. That's my dad. He knows.
Oh, that's awesome.
He knows him. He knows him.
That's awesome.
Hey, I do want to mention real quick though, that kid Holden, our mentor.
Yeah,
man. So those guys. So Holden's the kid that was at the Chiefs game and was, wrongly accused of being racist. They took a picture half of his face and like he was all in blackface. He had red and black on the other side was red. So just a kid supporting his team, the Chiefs, had the full headdress on at a game.
Yeah, didn't even know what racism was.
No, dude, he wasn't even thinking about that. And they kind of went after him, saying it was right. First of all, he's Native American, so he can do what he wants to do. You know what I mean? And he's just there supporting the Chiefs. But dude, these guys from Skin of the Game podcast, they raised like $11,000, and they got him and his dad tickets to the Super Bowl. They had awesome seats. He went back in full headdress and all that, but he actually, this time I think he was like red, white, and yellow or whatever. Of course, there's just no camera on him. But anyway, congratulations to Holden. I'm glad he was able to make it to the game. Good job to those guys from Skin of the Game podcast. That was so cool, man.
Yeah, which Hilton says that he saw that on Blasey's Briar Patch podcast, which now is as good of a time as any to talk about that. Yeah, so Blasey had this week jumped in on that with those guys. Again, I was kind of down for the count. He's been on a couple other podcasts, and I didn't bring that footage into this sucker tonight. That's okay. We'll talk about this later on. But he's gone on a couple other podcasts with these guys and everything. And out of it, a Tiggs Bits production, we have a new podcast, The Briar Patch.
The Briar
Patch. Which
more
which
controversial subjects we can throw in there. Yeah,
that's exactly right. We try to keep things here level. We're just kind of want to keep this plane flying. We can get a little bumpy here and there. We get a little controversial here and there, but we pretty much just want to keep this thing up.
We do.
Up
we talk
above,
about things
above the surface. You know what I mean?
It.
Just kind
of
flying
talk about
along.
what connects us as people, and not what tears us apart, and what divides us. Right. So that's kind of what we focus on here. You know what I mean? It's like you get done with this show. It's like, I don't know. You may disagree or agree, but it isn't like, we're tearing each other's throats up. It's like, hey, let's talk about fun stuff.
Yeah,
so,
but
anyway,
in the Briar Patch,
yeah.
Maybe I have an opinion on transvestites. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I want to talk a little bit more about the heroin epidemic. I don't know. Maybe I do. We'll see. So, it gives us a little more freedom to kind of talk about some of those topics that we don't necessarily want to drag everybody down in the mud with us on, basically.
That's it.
We may talk about politics, and that's a thing that we don't really get into on this show, and I don't want to get into that on this show. But in the Briar Patch, we may be pro-Trump, pro-Biden, or pro-Michelle Obama, who I think is going to be the next president of the United States. But anyhow, let's move on to our next little segment of the show. I know we're running a little low on time, Handler. We want to make sure that we keep you around, but it would be we couldn't have this show without getting your take, your opinion, your thoughts about the passing of one of the last American cowboys, in my opinion, one of the best to ever freaking do it. A man who just died entirely way too young, that being Toby Keith.
Yep.
Handler, did you have any experiences or any run-ins with Toby Keith over the years or anything?
Man, he was one of out of that bunch that I never really got to meet or hang out with. But I've probably done a half a dozen shows with him over the years, different places, festivals, several big military type veteran. I know just recently, maybe it was after he got his diagnosis, we played a show down in Daytona, on the Daytona Speedway for a big military event. Packed Daytona Speedway, probably 25,000 people there. It was a big thing. Marcus Luttrell there, that whole deal. Craig Morgan was there with us that day. He's a veteran also. Mm-hmm. But I didn't get to talk to him, and we've done a show with him one time. I remember in Minnesota, a big festival, and it stormed, and we had to cut our set short, and we didn't, and they had to buzz because it was just a weird day. And back in the day, we were around some, but I just never made the point to go. He's one, like you mentioned, he's so young. I just always thought I had a chance. I figured we would do shows because I met Tracy Lawrence 4 or 5 years ago finally, and got to hang out with him a bunch and several like that, but just hadn't got to do a TK show and more than one show, a one-off to where we could run into each other and hang out. So unfortunately I didn't, but 100% across the board, everyone had nothing but good things to say. We mentioned Taylor Swift. He obviously helped her get her first record deal.
Yep, he sure did.
He helped many artists. We love wrestling on here. I'm sure y'all have seen the things of him suplexing Jeff Jarrett back in the day. And I mean, he had great songs. He had the Red Solo Cup song. No one will ever look at a Red Solo Cup that knows that song without thinking of him. I did it all weekend.
I got to give a quick shout out to Hilton. Hilton messaged me yesterday, and we were just kind of talking about that and Red Solo Cup, and he said y'all need to have a Red Solo Cup tonight. And I texted y'all.
You did.
I don't have a Red Solo Cup.
I don't either.
There you go.
It's funny. I was sitting here as soon as the show started. I was like, "Dang, Red Solo Cup! I forgot to get it, man." And I had one. I was like,
Fill you up.
But do you know what's so good about his music?
Party.
It plays in your head. Like I walk into a bar. I love this bar. You know what I mean? It's like his music just it resonates. I ain't as good as I once was.
How
many times have I done probably things I shouldn't do? Probably still over the years, knowing I can still do this. One good time, raced my son last year in front of all his friends, pulled a hamstring. You know what I mean? So that race before, I was still just as good as I was once. So I mean he kind of gives you some false confidence a little bit too.
Well, you got to pick and choose your battles there, even though whatever it is. But
horses. He had so many songs, dude. It was just
he did.
Good
I mean, look, I've gone into since the day he died. I just went. That's all I listened to, and it's pretty much all I've listened to since last week. I'm kind of coming out of it, but I dove deep in, and I go, my God, man, I forgot how many dadgum good songs he has. And here are 20. I'm going to name 20. All of these were number one.
That's crazy.
All 20 of these were his number one songs. Should have been a Cowboy, the first one. That's what launched his career. Who's That Man? Me Too. How Do You Like Me Now? You Shouldn't Kiss Me Like This. I'm Just Talking About Tonight. I Want to Talk About Me. That one's kind of last week. Kim Mulkey, the LSU women's basketball coach, huge country music fan. She talked about her son, Kramer Robertson, played for LSU. He plays in the in minor leagues in baseball now. That was a song she would sing to him when he was getting head, thinking he was the, she's like, that's what. So she went into that whole deal in a press conference after finding out he had passed. And insisted that the girls, that's all they played that day whenever they practiced too. So, those girls loved that. They had a Toby Keith all day that day. But hey, that's awesome. Moving on my list, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, the Angry American.
Y'all can discuss that on your other podcast if y'all want to get crazy with it, because that obviously stirred up a big deal in country music between he and the Dixie Chicks,
Yes, it did. I told Riley, my son Riley, we were coming home later on last week. Once I could go get him, I was over the flu. Went and picked him up, and we were listening to Toby Keith coming home, and I said, have you ever heard this song, Riley? And I played it, and man, he kind of got a little emotional. He liked it. He wanted to hear it again. We listened to it like 2 or 3 times in a row, and then he's listened to it since. I told him, I said, this song made a lot of people mad years ago when this came out, right after 9/11. It was about a year after. We're going to war and all of that. And he said, why would that make people mad? And I said, I can't really explain it, but there's this band, the Dixie Chicks.
At the people that bombed our buildings. This is nothing about oil and Iraq and the warmongering thing, right? It's none of that.
Yeah.
This is talking about the people that just blew up these buildings.
Mainly a tribute to his father, who had recently passed. So,
And I say this about Toby. I mentioned we've done several military type shows with him. There was no bigger supporter of our armed forces and military and first responders than TK. He did I would dare say he did as many USO tours, right? Maybe like as Charlie Daniels. He might have took the flag from Uncle Charlie and ran with it, because I know, you know, he had every time I would run into a group of special forces guys or veterans or some that ran these organizations, different things, they all knew Toby. His manager was also TK, and the connection they had and the places he went and played and the time he gave and money and everything else to go do these things in these far stretches of the world to do these USO shows for these troops. He, like Charlie, would go places just to play by himself with his guitar for these 30 people on some remote outpost and get shot at on their way there and that kind of stuff. And he never flinched. He did that from the beginning of his career until the last. Like I said, he was sick and did these shows. And what a statesman on that end, you know, just was a patriot through and through, and it should inspire. And I know Justin talked about it, and it does a lot that want to do things, because you watched Toby do it. You saw him in the fatigues, you know, overseas somewhere doing these things, and you know, it's we lost a big ambassador there on that end. Hopefully somebody can fill those shoes, because now that he and Uncle Charlie are gone, that was two that put a lot of effort and time into making sure our troops all over got served with whatever they could provide, you know. So that song particularly made me think of that and how big of an impact he made on that end, you know.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Moving on, there's still more songs. Who's Your Daddy? Beer for my horses, of course. I love this bar. American Soldier, another great military song.
Let me say this on I Love This Bar. Obviously, you said when you go in a bar, Blaze, you think of that. There, at one time, he franchised that into, I don't know, dozens and dozens of bars all over the country. There were Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill.
That's right. I remember that.
And because it was about the time I started with John Party, we probably played 15 of them all over the country. They had them in California, Kentucky, Ohio. I think they had one at the Wharf here in Orange Beach at one point. But it was huge right then, right? Well, everybody wanted a piece of the action, so he sold them off and sold the whole thing for mint, and literally became one of the richest guys in country music for selling that name and writing off on that. And then it all squandered away. It was all gone in a few more years. Yep. But it was just that hot thing right then, and and his racehorses. I think he made more money between that and his racehorses than he ever did making music, I think, is what I heard. Also.
Wow.
Yeah, he was big. He was a big thoroughbred racehorse guy.
I had I have a good friend, David Hogan. He knew him pretty well. He was in Oklahoma whenever I used to sell hardwood lumber and molding and that kind of stuff. He had some relationships there. One of those guys, business kind of deals, you know, they were friends, and then they got connected and all that. He always had nothing but good things to say. In fact, he sent me a little video. It's very private. I don't think that I could release it, but it was just neat to see Toby Keith. This was probably 8 or 10 years ago, basically dedicating some songs and stuff like that to this guy. They were pretty loose.
Yeah,
to say it lightly in that video, but
toast every sunset with wine, you know. Right. And I tell you, if anybody wants to see a good one, my friend of mine, Colt Ford, who is a dear friend and also a patriot, he was real tight with Toby. They were on the same record label, and they helped each other with stuff. And his video he posted, if anyone wants to check that out, it's worth watching, because you know, Colt and him were really tight, and he spoke on him in first person to where I feel like I know Toby and what kind of person he was, because of how. And he said you just weren't going to meet a better human. You just weren't. Yeah. You know.
That's right. Jason says he saw Toby live around 2000 because the song "How Do You Like Me Now" had just come out at Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, Louisiana. He got 3 guitar picks, and he's put this on there. I think he may have messaged you too, Handler. There was a guy, I can't remember what was his name, Jason. Send that name of that guy. But one of the picks has a name that we can't figure it out. I was like, well, I'm sure that was just somebody in your band, in his band or something like that. But no names have come up with that yet. Oh. So who knows? It could have been an alias. You know how those guys are with picks and guitars. Yeah. It could have just been a damn made-up name, too.
It could have been a joke. Could have been an inside joke.
Yeah. Joey Cooter Floyd. Joey Cooter Floyd. I mean, it sounds like that's possibly what that is some kind of a little inside joke or something. But who knows, man? I'd love to know. But yeah, just finishing up that list real quick. American Soldier, which came out in 2004, Whiskey Girl, As Good as I Once Was, Big Blue Note, A Little Too Late, American Ride, Made in America. I mean, the dude made some of the best America songs ever.
He
and
really
then, of
did.
course, Red Solo Cup in 2011.
Dude, so many songs. You know, I was looking the other day.
That's just his hits. That's just his
Dude,
number
Yeah,
one.
don't let the old man in. He wrote with Eastwood. I mean,
Yeah,
for the
about
movie.
Clint
which-
Eastwood. What a
and
great.
Clint Eastwood actually inspired him to write that when they were playing golf together.
Yep.
Eastwood
And-
wrote a lot of songs you wouldn't know of. Eastwood wrote most of the songs that are in his movies. He wrote a lot of those songs.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, he just asked him because he's going there to start filming The Mule, and he's like, "How do you have this energy to do this?" And he was just like, "Well, I just get up and get out, and don't let the old man in." And he was like, "That's got to be a song." Appreciate you, Clint.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I think Dream Walking is probably my favorite Toby Keith song. Besides, I Love This Bar. That's going to be tough for me to move past, and then the Angry American. But in Red Solo Cup, I mean, I don't know yet. Where do you pick? But Dream Walking, I love that song. I love everything about it. Bullets in the Gun. That song freaking rocks. That's a rock song. That ain't really a country song to me. You Shouldn't Kiss Me Like This. I mean, come on, that song. And then Copenhagen with Chris Ledoux. You remember that one? I mean, I think that song. I don't know if that was an original or if that was a.
No, I think that's actually.
They did a version of it.
Yeah, it's either Ledoux, but I first heard Copenhagen. I'll say Robert Earl Keen.
Robert Earl Keen, that's right. That's who did the original Copenhagen. And if you go on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever, listen to Toby Keith's version of Gordon Lightfoot's Sundown. Maybe the best version I've heard of it, actually.
I haven't even heard it, but I love that song.
That song gives me chill bumps. That's just what. Oh man, what a song! What a tune!
Watch some YouTube videos on Gordon Lightfoot. He had a house in Toronto, and all the famous people used to party there when they came through town. It's pretty interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Old Lightfoot.
Huh.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to peel out. But look,
Yep.
I'm actually going to the brewery. So when I get there, I'm gonna try to log back in, so it won't be fancy on my computer.
Oh, yeah,
But I'm gonna
do
take
that.
my earbuds. I'm gonna try to log in from up there and maybe
Yeah.
live look in on the band, and I can at least
Yep.
listen to y'all while y'all are, and I can
We
chime
got
in
you. We got you.
when needed.
Go enjoy that music, man.
That's right.
We'll see you here in a few.
I'll hit you guys back. Thank y'all, everybody. God bless Toby Keith, and thank y'all for tuning in to the show today.
See you, dude.
See you
man.
guys.
But yeah, man.
And he's in and he's out.
He's
The
in and
handler.
he's out. I don't know if we'll still be going by the time he makes it over
He's
there.
not
or
far. That's the good news. He's literally
That
two
is right.
blocks. He's two
That's
blocks.
correct.
So.
That's correct. So it may end up happening. But yeah, man, Toby Keith, just unbelievable Americana, the thread in America that he leaves behind. 60, what was he, 62?
Yeah,
62
years
years
old, man.
entirely too young.
Very young. Very young.
To pass.
Yeah.
But, man, just tip of the cap to Toby Keith. I'm going to miss that guy, but he lives on. I mean, that's the beauty of music, is that he lives on. He'll live forever. He'll never die. He'll never die, but kind of like the handler said, I never got the opportunity to see him live. I never saw Toby Keith live.
I did not either.
I
man.
wanted to.
Yeah, I would love to.
Just kind of one of those things that
I
never.
would love to. So, yep.
So that brings us to the theme of this show. One of the themes, we'll close with our closer this week, because it is a festive time of year.
Yes, it is.
All across the South, especially. It's Mardi Gras season. And let's just jump right into a little bit of controversy that the show has created. That I don't think there's any controversy out there, but let's just revisit this little clip first and then talk about it.
Jim Nagy and what he's done
Unbelievable.
with this bowl, with the Senior Bowl, and bringing it to the elevation that it is, which is the best absolute showcase of all college football talent in the town that started Mardi Gras, by the way, where New Orleans has to call the mayor and get permission to have Mardi Gras in New Orleans. In Mobile, Alabama, folks. You got to come down here.
We'll
Great
break
spot.
that shit down on another episode, but whatever. Anyhow, Mobile is the shit, and they did start Mardi Gras. That's cool.
It
you
is.
know,
It's
but,
absolutely true.
but they didn't master it. So,
But they own it.
if you hope, I don't think they do.
They give
No, they
permission
don't.
every year to give it to that little
You
city
don't have
over
to
there.
yell at me, Blasey, but we'll be back tomorrow with more.
We were pretty fired up. It had been a great, long,
It had been an amazing
fun
day. It had been an
Yes.
amazing day. It was a beautiful blind side. Out of nowhere comes this whole, let's just put Tiggs on the spot. We invented Mardi Gras. You know, like, okay. Congratulations on that. But you sure
not
as
even
shit
from
ain't
Mobile,
mastered it. And
but I
I'll
was
stick
fired
with
up.
I'll stick with what I say. Why are people from Mobile in particular, this is a truthful question. For the record, I'm from North Louisiana.
Yep.
We did not celebrate Mardi Gras growing up. They do celebrate it up there now. I celebrate it living down here now in South Louisiana. I love it. I've embraced it. It's all a lot of fun. But it really, really seems to irk people in South Alabama that they invented Mardi Gras, or they first, it was and it's debatable. I mean, there's the 1790 people, or 1799, they say that's the first in New Orleans, and then the 1803 or 17, whatever
there's
the
some
years
parish
are.
over
Who
there that may
gives
have
a
done it in
shit?
the
It was 300
1600s and the
years ago.
17th century, and then 1703 and 1711. I think Mobile had the very first parade, and it was almost like 150 years later before New Orleans, right? This isn't necessarily just the state of Louisiana. New Orleans had a parade, so
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, no, yeah, it's all good. I think it's cool that it's invented there. They're two different vibes. Like, you know, I mean, I enjoy
They're
Mobile
totally
personally.
two different
I
vibes.
don't want anything to do with New Orleans during Mardi Gras. I want nothing to do with that city. Nothing against it. It's just too much. You know what I mean? I'll go there other times
It is
outside of
too
that.
much.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. If ever in a game or something, you know, like, you know, you'll play those games, you'll write down what's one interesting fact that no one would ever guess about you. Here's one. I've never got to say it. Tiggy, your boy here, I've never been to a Mardi Gras parade in New Orleans.
Wow.
I've never been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
Wow.
I've been to a Super Bowl parade in New Orleans, which happened during Mardi Gras time, but I've never actually been, like, this past weekend in Endymion and all those cats, Zulu and all. I think they ride tomorrow, whatever. All those, never been to any of those. Now, I've gone to several other, I've been to other Mardi Gras parades across the state, but I have not been to one in New Orleans. And frankly, I have no desire to go to that either. Okay, guys,
I've never had that itch whatsoever, ever.
No,
Like, you know.
I kind of liken tomorrow being Fat Tuesday, and I'm not knocking Mardi Gras whatsoever. I love it. But I kind of look at tonight and tomorrow as like New Year's Eve. It's the day of, it's rookies. It's the day for rookies.
It is.
This is the partying rookies. Have fun. You know, you go out, get drunk, do dumb stuff, you know, blah, 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 whatever. I don't like that aspect of Mardi Gras. But what I do like about Mardi Gras is how it can bring people together. We can have fun and enjoy parades and stuff like that. In fact, I took a little video. I put a little video, put it out on social media this weekend. But I gotta put this out, just showing what happens here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We
That's
had
the one with the
South
gimp in
Downs,
it, right?
Do what?
Has the gimp in it?
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah.
So we had South Downs, which is a little small neighborhood Mardi Gras parade on Friday night, and then on Saturday morning, they roll at noon, is the Spanish Town parade. So that's the footage that's during the day. This year's theme was heavy Jimmy Buffett in both, but especially in Spanish Town. And Spanish Town has been known to be a little raunchy, I think would be the best word for it. You know, I mean, they talk a lot about sex. They're dildo heads and things. Like, it's
Crazy town.
It gets crazy. It gets crazy. Not as bad, though, this year. Not as bad at all, but still, you know, a lot of fun representing or you know, all of that stuff. But anyhow, here's a little video.
Now raise one hand up if you know you got haters. But raise both hands up if you know that you're greater. Now raise one hand up if you know you got haters. But raise both hands up if you know that you're greater.
Now that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I love that song, dude. I love that music. I love everything about it.
Was that
so
Chubby
much
Carrier?
fun?
Who was that?
Do what? That's
Who was-
Keith Frank and
Oh, okay.
Keith Frank
Okay.
with Lil Boosie.
Okay,
You know, I mean,
okay.
that's haters.
Yep.
If you're listening out there, we do not own the rights to that music, but my God, the state of Louisiana sure does. And that is Mardi Gras, man. That's so much fun. It's just fun to get out there with your kids and to see other little kids
Yeah.
catching beads and just catching stuff and just the insanity of people, the different characters that are around that you see. I mean, it's bonkers.
Yeah, it definitely gets more bonkers when you cross that state line over there than, you know, in Mobile. I didn't do any parades this year because, you know, it kind of stops over here. We do some, you know, some small, like, gatherings and things like that, you know, where there's some cool stuff, but nothing crazy, you know, like, so I did get a king cake, though, from Stinky's, and I'm sure that's going to be
Stinky's,
phenomenal.
fish
Pick
camp?
that up. Yeah, you know.
So
Jim
yeah.
Richard, you know, so he
they're
makes this. That's going to
Louisiana
be legit.
people.
Yes. So I can't wait to have that tomorrow. So Amanda and I picked that up. What was that, Saturday? We were just cruising around. So
I just take it for granted, you know. I mean, there ain't been crawfish, but there are plenty of king cakes in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
around.
Yeah, and I better go load up. I better go get one tomorrow.
You
'cause
better.
After tomorrow, they gone. They're gone for till January of next year.
that's it.
You know, but yeah, man, Mardi Gras it's a lot of fun. I would love one of these years. I'm actually working tomorrow morning. I sell insurance, everybody. I'm going to go sell some insurance. People do still work on Fat Tuesday in Louisiana in some places. So anyhow, I've got a little meeting there. But one of these years, I want to go to Eunice. And I have friends that are they're partying right now, man. They've been out there all day. They're cooking blood boudin. They're cooking all of
Oh, I
this
love
stuff.
that
They're
blood
doing
boudin, man.
all kinds of stuff. Eunice is cutting loose. They have Cajun music playing. They're going at it. I'm like, send me some video, dude. Send me some good horizontal video. I'll throw it into our show tonight, you know. But they're having too much fun to worry about us here at Tig's Bits with some good videos. Speaking of good videos, we're kind of starting to wrap up. We'll see if the handler can make it in here at the end.
Oh, I thought you were about to bring him in. You said,
No,
speaking of good
I wish.
videos, I thought
He's
we
not
had
in
Handler
yet.
live from
He's
that.
not in yet.
What is the name of that brewery again? Like, that's where we met up too. Dang, he just said it too. I
Big
should know that.
Beach. Big Beach.
Yeah, it's something beach. Big Beach.
Yeah, I
Is that
think it's
it?
Big Beach. Yeah,
Yeah.
follow him on Instagram.
That's a
And
good spot
cool
too, man.
place.
That's
cool
a really
place.
cool. That's a really cool place. Yeah.
Hilton says that he saw the Cajun Ninja was the Grand Marshal in Thibodaux over the weekend. I saw this too. The hecklers were calling him stuff, and his wife, and he jumped off the float, and things got him. But why the hell would you mess with the Cajun Ninja? Number one, if y'all don't know who the Cajun Ninja is, those of you out there listening that aren't from Louisiana, which is probably most of y'all, follow the Cajun Ninja's page on social media, anywhere. If you want to cook authentic Louisiana dishes, no one can teach you how to do that better than the Cajun Ninja. Just Nobody can do it. Love to have him on the show at some point in time,
great, dude.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
great.
think we would love. I don't want to talk about this Cajun Ninja. Don't care at all about that incident. But yeah, apparently got a little provoked from people, and that's speaking of haters. That's the case in point. You know, that happens more and more in society. This may be even a briar patch kind of discussion.
It may be.
You know, but yeah, man, the Cajun Ninja, fantastic dude. Seems to be a great guy.
Cajun
His wife, they make
Ninja.
good content.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So
You know, it's funny. I saw that Thibodeau come up there, and buddy that I work with, his name's Hunter Thibodeau. He was telling me about his granddaddy. Now, he's from Lafayette. He's really pretty hardcore Cajun, and his family too. And he was telling me his granddaddy. He said, "Man, hey," he said, "my granddaddy he's got the whitest teeth you ever seen, man." He's like, he said, he tells me he chews on pine bark. You know, is how he does it. You know, I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah. He'll go out there and chew on pine bark. He'll chew on a tree." And I was like, "What?" He said, "Oh, yeah, his teeth are perfect, though." That's all. I was like, "Man, that's some Cajun stuff over there, man."
Yeah,
but he swears chewing on pine bark, man, is
hey,
where it's at. That was coming from his granddaddy. I just saw it, Thibodeau. It got me thinking about him telling me about that.
If it works, it works.
Hey,
if
I'm
it
in.
works, it works. Paul says that he doesn't give up things for Lent as a Catholic. He just prays more. Well, I think that's a good thing, man. I'm not Catholic, so I don't have to participate in Lent. You know, sometimes I do kind of go along with it, like in a sense. Like, you know, I'll kind of go. I've got plenty of friends who are Catholic and are giving it up. It becomes a nightmare to get food on Fridays in South Louisiana, you know, because of Spainly cat. It's fish. So you can get shrimp, fish, crawfish. Crawfish going to be tough this year, you know, on Fridays. So, I look forward every year to getting some amazing fried fish. So it's getting loud in there, Blasey. What's about to happen? What's going on in there?
They're just in there. Cheers. Oh, just getting a little toast back here.
Yeah. Cheers to you fellas out there.
Man.
Appreciate y'all listening to us tonight. But
Yeah, man. We got a
But yeah, Blasey,
good little crowd for a Monday following the Super Bowl. I was looking
Hell of a
around
good
in here.
little
There's
crowd.
20 or
Hell
30
of a good
people
little
back there,
crowd.
so not bad
Let's
at
talk
all.
about props just for a second. We'll kind of start
man.
to wrap everything up. What's your favorite thing to eat at props? What's your favorite appetizer? Let's start there. Let's start with an appetizer.
Man,
Or
so
one or two appetizers.
Yeah, so they've got two food trucks here. They do a traditional food truck, and they just got fryers. Like before, you could get like a burger, you could get different sandwiches, but it's usually either potato salad or chips. Which the potato salad's actually really good here.
I could lather myself. in
Oh
good
my gosh!
potato
And they do these
salad.
giant pretzels that they make. They're so good. But now they've added a fryer, so now we have out there in the food truck. They've got wings, they got French fries, they got onion rings. Oh man, it's really, dude. Their food here is amazing there. Then they have a taco truck, right? So they have the taco truck, and I think they're revamping that thing right now with the recipes and everything, fixing to bring in more, just really kind of juice that thing up a little bit more. And then they rotate different food trucks throughout the week that come through here that sit on, because they've got 4 pads out there to host multiple food trucks. So they got a coffee truck out there.
Yeah.
And there's something else out there that serves some type of, I forget what that's called. It's like a dessert deal. But, dude, I think it's 5 pads, actually. Yeah, I mean, really nice pads out here on the wing in a little covered area that you can walk out to these food trucks. So, dude, if you come here, there's plenty of food options to eat. I mean, and then next door at the general store, which is right next door, you can get a pizza. If you want a pizza, they cook pizza there all day. So you
Good
can get
pizza.
pizza and bring
I've
that
had
over
their
here
pizza.
as well. It actually is really good pizza.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can get pizza there. You can get burgers. You can get sandwiches. You can get everything. Wings. Again, and the rotating food trucks are always phenomenal. So plenty of food options if you decide to come out here. Oh yeah.
Amanda
that
says
lobster
cousin's
truck.
main lobster truck. What?
Oh,
Tell me
dude,
about that.
Get those lobster rolls. They are so dang good, man. When that truck's here, it lines up, dude. That line gets deep on that, and they'll sell out of those lobster rolls too. And you can get the cold traditional, or you can get hot. You know, like they got multiple different options on those lobster rolls, but they are absolutely divine, dude. And the pricing's actually pretty reasonable because, you know, some of those things can get kind of outrageous kind of quick because it's lobster, right? But it's actually pretty reasonable prices. It's not too bad. So, yep, that is a good one. So, yeah, man, you got a lot of beer options. There's always entertainment here, man. I mean, we're the entertainment tonight.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, Tuesday night, they'll have trivia night. And then Wednesday night, I think this week, they're going to do music trivia specifically. Same group. General trivia on Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, or maybe next Wednesday. But they'll do that. They do a paint and sip thing. They'll do, you know, painting class in here.
They always
have karaoke,
events.
Music every Friday and Saturday night. And then, you know, they're doing brunch every morning on Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 2. So, dude, there's always something going on here. Like, it's almost too much, great. You know? Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't wait to come out there and visit with them and get to finally go in there. I mean, it was always a concept from years and years ago whenever I lived there that these things would happen. You are getting to enjoy the fruits of the labor. What's the guy's name that Jay? What was the guy who thought of the whole Hammock Bay deal? What was his
Jay Odom. Yep.
Jay Odom. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. He is the mastermind of this whole operation or you know of Hammock Bay in general.
Right. Right. Which is just an amazing.
And he was a fan of Props Brewery. And this is why the guys from Props are here.
Okay.
So that helped out. When they ended up having to close their store in Fort Walton. They had like a it wasn't like they've got a place in Fort Walton now where they brew a lot of their beer, right? This is more of the traditional brewery where they actually brew, and then they had like a grill place right on Brooks Bridge, but now they're getting ready to widen that road, so they lost that. So when that was going through that process, that's when somehow Jay and Nate and those guys connected, and next thing you know, this is born, and this is absolutely unbelievable. This place is really cool. But, dude, it's been successful. I mean, people are showing up. People drive from all over the place to come here. So,
yeah,
great spot, man. Great spot.
Well, look, we certainly appreciate them having us once again. Look forward to
absolutely
to doing this again, man. You got anything else that you want to say, Blasey? Anybody in the chat have anything they want to say before we sign off?
Man, that's about it for me. I mean, I think we covered anything. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to get on. I was looking through the notes here. Got some stuff here. We kind of hit on most all the stuff.
We did. I enjoyed it, man. I really did. Congratulations once again on that second place in the chili cook-off, ladies and gentlemen. The show winning more awards. Not surprising there, and more to come.
Was that Duracell or was that, what was that, Ever Ready? What was that? That guy said, see this battery on my shoulder. Uh-oh. I dare you to knock that battery off my shoulder. What was that? You remember those battery commercials from the late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah.
Last night I was walking around with this thing on my shoulder all night.
Hell yeah.
Did you see the video of my boy Mark doing a speech with it on his hat? And it just kept dancing up there. He had it on the brim of his hat. And he's sitting there talking to me, and this thing is and it won't fall off. He's like, I'll tell you one other thing, what you better do. And I was like, how's that thing staying on his hat?
That dude had one flat brim for that to,
dude,
for that to happen.
It was like this. It was one of
That's unbelievable.
Like unbelievable. I'll
Who
send you the
makes
video.
that trophy? Look on the bottom of that thing. Let's give those people a shout out because that's a fantastic, well-balanced trophy.
It really is. I think that is Crown Awards. Crown
Awards.
Folks. Yep. If
Crown
you need trophies,
Awards.
they've got them fine, balanced.
Perfectly balanced. It's like finding a good fishing rod, man.
It really
you get that thing just right.
Just hold it on your finger. Just sit there on it.
That's right. All righty, folks. Well, we appreciate y'all joining us, and we will be back and see you guys next week.
See y'all.